Oh, Captain, it's beautiful up here. Could we get more jobs like this one?
Hello, hello, hello there. Hope your atmospheric entry wasn't too troublesome. As a guest of honor, you deserve the best in comfort. The caller selves is delighted to welcome you to Eridanos. I'm the Grand Colonial Head Bellhop. I'm here to grab your bags and direct you, the inspector, to the Grand Ballroom, which was the scene of the crime. I can try. I was the one who found Helen's body in the Grand Ballroom. Corpse wasn't in the best shape. Aside from that, I don't know a whole lot. Helen was supposed to host the unveiling for Rizzo's newest product, Spectrum Brown. Until you catch the killer, the unveiling's been indefinitely postponed. Helen's death has been a shock for many. A lot of people are inconsolable. Hell, even Black Hole Birdie, Helen's beau, has wandered off. Some folks think he had something to do with the murder, but I don't believe it.
Hey, Black Hole Birdie may be a savage brute on the field of honor, but he's no killer.
I still don't understand why anyone would have it in for Ms. Helen.
Folks get heated when it comes to serials and their actors, I suppose. Not particularly, but I think some folks were jealous of her success, or otherwise viewed her as a threat. Reckon how she came about her fame didn't help. Why, she was a natural. People fell in love with her. She managed to wrangle up a following all on her own. She ended up about as famous and high-runged as your average VP, which rubbed a lot of Byzantines the wrong way. Actors ain't supposed to get preferential treatment. Let's see here. Oh, I already spoke briefly about the Spectrum unveiling, or lack thereof. It's still an awful shame. A lot of folks looking forward to that. I do. Rizzo's happened to rent out the Grand Colonial Ballroom from Slug for the unveiling. A nice mutually beneficial event. But the murder's gone and ruined that. Along with 9 out of 10 of my favorite cereals. Anyway, I think I've held you up long enough. Once you're ready, head down to the lobby. The ballroom is just behind the elevators. Meanwhile, I'll grab your bags. You're making fun, right? Your luggage, belongings, kit, wherever you keep what you ain't wearing. You're still giving me a pretty blank look. Suppose it's none of my business, but do you just wear the same set of clothes all the time? Hey, this is a hotel-mandated piece of my uniform, and it's very official. Even if it is a bit stupid. Anyhow, I'll look for you in the Grand Ballroom later. Hope you can unravel this mystery, Inspector. This is one of the worst weeks I've ever had. Except the time I got bit by a feral sprat. You know the scabies vac-
I know we got a murder to solve, but I say we take our time. Enjoy the hotel. No one's allowed off the islands except us. The killer ain't going anywhere. Unless they jumped off the edge. And they got some way to fly. Huh. Didn't think about that. Yeah, boss?
I can't believe Ms. Helen's gone. Feels like it's going against the laws of nature somehow. I used to watch Helen's serials. She'd fall into mortal peril every couple episodes, but she always lived in the end. Breathtaking. Have you looked over the edge of the complex yet? Just watch the clouds turning? It's like an ocean without end. It's more than just clouds, Captain. It's a marvel. Did you know there are storms in Eridanos that last for centuries? Eridanos is 100 times the mass of Terra 2, 800 times the volume, 10 times the diameter. We're flying through the tiniest layer of habitable atmosphere. Sometimes I can't believe how small my world used to be. My horizons were about as wide as the walls of Edgewater. Yeah. We've come a long way.
Greetings, Inspector. No need to check in here. Your paperwork has all been processed. You should be able to find the Colonial right ahead.
I feel like I'm spending a fortune just standing here.
I can't believe someone so famous as Halcyon Helen could meet a fate like this.
Ooh, feels like I'm breathing rich people air.
I'll bet you 10 bits this is all just some sort of publicity stunt.
Sure.
Black hole birdies disappeared, you know.
I could never work for
That
Slug.
poor
They're
fellow
not
must be
recognized by the board.
inconsolable.
Oh, thank the law. Inspector, you don't know how relieved I am to see you. Constable Maria Keene. It's good to meet you in person, Inspector.
Dr. Goodnight. Ecstatic to make your various acquaintances and so on. Are we finished with the pleasantries? There's something I'm excited to show you. An extraordinary contraption. You'll love it.
Our coroner has developed a device which may prove useful in your investigation. Our office has instructed her to hand it over to you.
Our office has instructed her to hand it over to you. Oh, please. You make it sound as if I'm turning over stolen goods. Behold, my discrepancy amplifier. Hold it in your hands. Feel the way it hums with ontological potential. I'm so glad you asked. Allow me to explain. The discrepancy amplifier uses a deterministic model of our universe to detect the discrepancy between what should be and what actually is. Then it renders any discrepancies visible by using the power of magnification. Yes, it's a magnifying glass, but an extraordinarily powerful one. It looks through the glass of reality itself.
I'm contractually prohibited from endorsing off-brand technology, but I'll bend that rule just this once. You'll want to peer into the amplifier and examine the crime scene.
You're, really digging around Helen's body for clues, huh?
Watch it!
The discrepancy amplifier is now operational. Greetings, designated inspector and/or unauthorized larcenist. This unit has detected a discrepancy related to Halcyon Helen. Unscheduled expiration of. Begin amplification. This footprint stands out from the normally spotless floor of the grand ballroom. Typically, the ballroom is cleaned twice daily, which means this must have been made by either Helen or her assailant or assailants. Footprint is a tailor-made 8.75, suggesting that its owner was very particular about their shoe size. It is also the exact size that Halcyon Helen typically prefers. There are traces of dirt throughout the footprint. The dirt carries traces of fertilizer, as well as the faint signs of crushed purpleberries and grass. Grass, fertilizer, and purpleberries can all be found in the purpleberry orchards, located not far from the Grand Colonio. This deduction appears sound.
Good work, Inspector. I had a feeling we'd make some progress once we brought you onto the case. You'll need Administrator Ludovico to grant you access to the orchards. Contact him through the secure access terminal in your penthouse suite. Check in with the concierge. Your room should be ready by now. If it isn't, I may have to go shake someone by the collar. Something I should know? Are you asking me these questions in an official capacity? I understand you're being metaphorical, but I'm contractually obligated to remind you that Rizzo's cannot provide you with any official brand-associated headgear. Please, ask your questions. Norval, head bellhop. He was understandably distraught. I believe his feelings were genuine. He's a remarkably poor actor. Hotel security corroborates his whereabouts during the murder. I haven't included him in my list of suspects, but neither am I convinced of his innocence. I'm a little suspicious of anyone who enjoys his job as much as Norval. He's also obsessive in his appreciation of Helen's work. Obsessive passion can lead to irrational behavior. It's a fact of modern science. If there were any witnesses, none came forward. Ballroom cameras were also offline at the time of the murder. Helen was very particular about having cameras on her. Security footage would have constituted documentary filmmaking. Can't afford that. There's no sign of the murder weapon. Whatever it was that killed Helen, the killer took it with them. Frankly, I'm having trouble imagining exactly what it was that killed her. Helen was known to carry her signature weapon, a bespoke handgun known as the Needler. There was no sign of any such weapon on her body.
The Needler's real? I watched her use that thing in the gunfight at the end of Terror on Monarch.
You keep excitable company. I hope they won't complicate your investigation by touching things. Spencer Woolrich and Bertie Holcomb are officially persons of interest in this investigation. I've mostly ruled out Mr. Woolrich, leaving Bertie Holcomb as my lead suspect. Let me rephrase that. He's your lead suspect. I've been instructed to turn this case over to your capable hands, while I continue to serve as a consultant. Mr. Woolrich was Halcyon Helen's professional rival. It's possible jealousy drove him to take Helen out of the picture. I apologize for the wordplay. Conversely, Mr. Bertie Holcomb was Helen's paramour. The relationship was reportedly dissolved. I can't rule out her murder as a crime of passion. Woolrich thinks of himself as a serious and distinguished actor. He was frequently cast in demeaning roles, while Helen played the charismatic heroine. He has reason to be envious. I considered the possibility that Woolrich killed Helen in order to eliminate a rival and advance his own career. But my reasoning collapsed under closer scrutiny. Woolrich owes his career to Helen's dramas. Her death likely harms his long-term prospects. I'm struggling to determine a motivation for him, so I've largely ruled him out. Mr. Holcomb was in a romantic relationship with Helen. This alone is not enough to make him a lead suspect, but he does play tossball. Black Hole Birdie currently holds the record for most non-consecutive blows to the head. His tendency toward irrational and violent behavior is well documented. Please, ask your questions. Anything else? I'm afraid I must decline. It isn't personal, Inspector. I'm just on duty right now. Talk to me later, after you've met with Administrator Ludovico. I'll make time to chat.
The Purpleberry Orchards. And a footprint. Inspector, that was absolutely marvelous. Beautifully deduced. With the help of my discrepancy amplifier, of course. Ah, I was waiting for this. Yes, of course. I'm only too eager to cooperate. My apologies, Inspector. I've not yet finished my autopsy. Come back later? Oh, good. One of my favorite subjects. Ask away, my dear. Ask away. Because you're the inspector. I should think that's rather obvious. I invented the discrepancy amplifier to assist me in my own medical work. When you were hired to investigate Helen's death, I realized I had my own part to play. I programmed the amplifier to assist you. I'm entrusting it to your care because I want to see my invention help a brilliant inspector solve the murder of the century.
That's a fair point. Why didn't you hand it over when I asked?
Oh, don't be difficult, Maria. You never wanted responsibility over this case. Conflict of interest, wasn't it? Think of the amplifier as my gift to you. May it avail you in the swift and efficient prosecution of justice. I didn't expect an existentialist question so early today. It's a need. Just as sprats feel they must breed, or canids feel they must brutally maul each other, I feel the need to create. Inspector, I'm sure you don't want to spend 4 hours talking back and forth about the intricacies of a science project. It works. That's the important part. I still have the blueprint and several extra prototypes floating around, but I might recommend you try to be careful with it. Some of the amplifier's internal components are rare, shall we say, and I don't have an indefinite supply. You sure you don't want to know anything else? Oh, all right. We can change the subject.
I knew I should have gotten her autograph when I had the chance.
Why is everybody staring? Didn't nobody teach him to respect the dead? Oh gosh, is that Miss Helen? Can we see?
Beep, beep, beep. Timeline discrepancy detected.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but while the hotel is an active crime scene, I regret to inform you that all new bookings, room upgrades, room downgrades, and in-room massages are Oh, you're the special inspector. Mr. Kincannon warned me you'd be checking in soon. Ah, yes. We are most pleased to offer you our grandest of grand accommodations, Inspector. The penthouse suite on our topmost floor is now available for you. The last guest left her belongings behind when she vacated unexpectedly, so we needed a little time to tidy the suite up for you. Simply call the elevator in the lobby, and our highly skilled operator will deliver you to your private floor with efficiency and cheer. I'd love to, Inspector, but I don't really have the authority. Moreover, the guests were promised exclusivity. If I let you up there, I'll never hear the end of it. That's a good point. If they give me guff, I can just tell them that they're obstructing justice. That has a nice ring to it. Let me just set you up with VIP guest floor access. Done. You can now come and go as you please. It certainly is a marvel of modern ingenuity, luxury, and ambition. Please, allow me to answer any curiosities you might have about our building and the amenities on offer. Twice the size of the next biggest room, and kitted out with any amenity you want, as well as many that you won't. Best to enjoy it while you can, Inspector. Typically, the only people who can afford the penthouse suite have enough bits to suffocate everyone on Terra 2. Also, please inform me if Woolridge gives you a hard time about getting a better room than his. Don't tell him I said this, but everyone on staff wants to strangle him. Most certainly. All the important folks can be found in the utmost parts of the hotel. You can hardly walk 3 feet without bumping into a tossball grate or a bored exec. Though maybe don't bump into them. Could be harmful to your health. Who would be interested in a staff-only area? Most folks never ask about the sewers beneath Arizo's plant, either. Of course, your interest is my pleasure, as dictated by Mr. Kincannon, Inspector. If you're sure... My apologies, Inspector, but that would be a severe violation of guest privacy. We here at the Grand Colonial firmly believe that... All right, my supervisor just walked out of earshot. Some folks just don't understand the importance of gossip. About whom? And what would you wish to know? You know, out of everyone here, I probably knew the least about Helen. I'm not much of an Aetherwave watcher myself. And Helen always had a crowd of admirers chasing her, you see, so she rarely stopped to chat. Friendly enough, surely, but always seemed untouchable. Emphasis on seemed. Now that you mention it, she was usually calm and collected, but every so often I'd see her looking all wild-eyed and intense. It seemed as if she was determined about something. Or maybe she was just hungry. That woman ordered a lot of food. Maybe show business gives you a faster metabolism. Ah, Birdie. Is he bigger than he is dumb, or dumber than he is big? I've a bet with a friend. Not sure we'll ever get it to pay out. Birdie used to be Helen's beau, though he isn't anymore, and not just because she's dead. If I had 1,000,000 bits, I'd spend every one just to learn what caused their split. If looks could kill, he'd have put her in the ground 10 times over. Man's clearly jealous of her success compared to his. See, I'd bet we're the only two people thinking about him in all of Eridanos. And I only am because you mentioned his name. If you leave woolly cow milk out, it turns to curds. Leave the curds out, they begin to get stale, then rot. Woolridge is on his way to the trash bin, and everyone knows it. Either he's in denial, or he knew Helen would be checking out soon, judging by his increasing demands for a room upgrade. That's a shame, Inspector. What if I wanted to know a little about you? A woman of mystery, are you? Consider me intrigued.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. An industrial-grade laxative has been added to the liquor in these bottles.
The Grand Colonial Front Desk warmly welcomes you, Inspector. It's a pleasure to see you again. How may I be of assistance to you, Inspector?
Hello there, my inordinately esteemed guest. If my hello were any more earnest, this loudspeaker would explode. What authorized floor can I bring you to? Next stop, the finest seat in the house.
Inspector, I understand you've visited the scene of the crime. Halcyon Helen was an important cultural icon. She will be sorely missed. It's the circumstances of her death that trouble me. Our spokesperson was murdered just before the grand unveiling of Spectrum Brown. If I belonged to a rival company, I'd be ecstatic. I do not. Spacer's Choice has that market cornered. Back to the matter at hand. Tell me about your investigation. I can't imagine she had any business outside the hotel. If you discover what she was doing at the orchard, please let me know. Here, I'm granting you access through the gates to the orchards. You're officially authorized to see this investigation through to the end. There is one caveat. Cedric's being rather intransigent about letting you into the spaceport. Possibly he's trying to hide something. Possibly he wants to annoy me. Possibly both. I agree with the sentiment behind your snide remark. Unfortunately, the Piraeus spaceport is Cedric's purview, not mine. You have a lead to chase. Law speed, Inspector. Inspector?
This room ain't so bad. I could get used to this.
There's no room service, right? Just asking.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. The imprint left inside this suitcase matches the silhouette of Halcyon Helen's iconic handgun, the Needler. The weapon was recently removed.
Helen, where did we go wrong? Oh, Lo, I'm so sorry. That didn't mean for... Helen, I love you. I love you so much.
Hi there, Inspector. It might be a little beyond my job description to ask, but at my heart, I'm still a bellhop. Was the suite to your liking? Someone focused on their work. I can absolutely respect that. We're Terra Rays of a Fin, Inspector. Now, I'd love to bring you to a floor of your choosing. If you see black hole birdies sure to get an autograph for me. Just joking. I've already got one. What floor would you like to visit?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. The charred fragments of a letter lies at the bottom of this wastebasket. Your observation is correct and quite astute.
Station, meeting point, emergency. You think it's talking about the atmospheric station? Or maybe the pilot house? Could be anywhere.
Someone burned this letter shortly after Halcyon Helen's death. Timeline discrepancy a single footprint, size 10, tossball cleat sized. The soil in this residue contains a very high concentration of oxygen. Well done, Inspector. The weather monitoring station at the pilot house substitutes for a terraformer. The soil in his footprint likely came from there.
What floor would you like to visit? To the lobby we go!
I must say...
Oh, look here. I could use a new pair of glasses.
Can't imagine where you misplaced your old pair.
Hey, you look like you need some stuff. Fancy watch? Spare cufflink? Single earring? You want it, I've got it. Junk? My friend, this is not junk. These are people's prized possessions. Priceless personal effects, beloved souvenirs and knickknacks. Huh? Oh, well, some of the guests left this stuff behind. I would certainly not admit to that even if it were true. Take a look for yourself. Me? Oh, sure. Terrific. Never better. And as soon as I pay off my docking fines, I'll be back on my feet and in my ship. So it turns out Slug has some pretty strict rules on vehicle docking, and I may have broken a few of them. Who'd think Slug would be so strict? Let's see. There's docking without prior authorization, double docking, docking into adjacent vessels, docking while under the influence of alcohol, docking while under the influence of caffeinoids, and loitering. And that reminds me that I've got delinquency fees accruing on top of the original docking fines, which is why I'm hoping you'll purchase my fine wares.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Beep, beep, beep. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Discrepancy detected. Rizzo's company policy clearly states that all proprietary mascots must exhibit signs of physical life. Medical analysis complete. This mascot was likely killed by small arms fire at close range. The firearm is unique and does not exist in this unit's database.
Right there with you. Whoever killed Ms. Helen is still out there.
This empty bottle of spirits does not belong to any known corporate brand. Suspicious residue detected. Substances detected on the surface of this bottle include kindapine sawdust and tobacco residue. Yes, Inspector. Rizzo's company drinking establishments do not offer unauthorized beverages. Conclusion. This bottle was purchased from a slug-owned establishment in the Piraeus spaceport.
Listen up.
You hiding? Break you!
Boss, get behind me!
You're hurt!
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Heard something.
Incoming!
Break you!
Nice hit! Look out, Cap!
That hurts.
Guard identifies him as a member of the Rizzo's Corporation. His rank would have been that of Jawbreaker or higher. This security guard has experienced premature expiration. Evidence strongly suggests a conflict with Marauders.
I doubt Rizzo's would ever shed a tear over him.
I don't think I've ever seen an orchard before. I mean, other than Miss McDevitt's garden. You mind if we look around a little?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's Rizzo's! Welcome to the Purpleberry Nut Hut, you wonderful, wonderful customer! Thank you for giving my humble existence value.
I can't tell if she's happy or dying on the inside.
I sure am! Good lamps you got on you to take notice. Oh, that? I call it my little passenger. I don't know why. The name just appeared in my head when this thing showed up on my neck. Couple of days. Ever since it showed up, I've been feeling happier and happier. I really can't imagine life without my little passenger. I don't know. It just appeared one day. I guess I just picked it up while working in the orchards. Sometimes I wonder how it showed up, and I start to worry. But worrying feels bad, and I hate feeling bad, so I don't worry about it. Now I'd love to get you something, maybe a couple somethings. Whatever you like, I can sell it to you at a low, low price. I'm so glad you asked. The orchards are my third favorite subject, with my first being Rizzo's refreshing drinks and my second being Rizzo's toothsome confectionaries. Our orchards are the source of 63% of Rizzo's total produce, which correlates to 112% of fresh goods throughout all of Halcyon. Give or take a few percent, of course. If you want to know more about each part of the orchards, might I recommend one of our fantastic tours? One of our options is even audio-guided as a special bonus feature. Oh, I'm so glad you said that. Our tours are my fourth favorite subject. Every part of the orchards is so rich with Rizzo's lore. Buy a tour ticket and anoint yourself with knowledge. We have 3 tour options: Premium, Premium Plus, and the Golden Ticket. Each option is wonderful in its own special way. Premium includes a 10-minute pass to the Sprat Petting Zoo. Premium Plus comes with the novelty Purpleberry and Amber, and the Golden Ticket is audio-guided in addition to being self-guided. Huh? Oh no, Rizzo's doesn't make me recommend the tour. Helping customers just makes me even happier than I already am, and that's saying a lot. Happy workers lead to happy customers. Happy customers are repeat customers.
I'm pretty sure her face is stuck that way.
I'm not quite sure what you mean. There's really nothing better than feeling a euphoric sense of happiness and self-contentment. Now, I'd be pleased as punch to sell you a tour ticket. Which kind would you like? You're in luck. We have 1 left. Normally, they're 100 bits, but seeing how I'm sold out of everything else, I can give it to you for just 90. How does that sound? That's great. Thank you so much. No, I'm sorry. The only celebrity who shopped recently is Black Hole Birdie. Quite the affable man, as it so happens. And the stories are wrong. He could probably lift 2 benches of tossball players at once, not just 1. Laws, not just affable, but virile, too. Ooh, wait a minute. Now that his beau's dead, that means Birdie's single. Maybe I'll strike up a little more than conversation the next time he comes by. Oh my! Birdie, a murderer? Well, everyone has their flaws. I'll be sure not to bring it up on our first date. No, I'm sorry. The only celebrity who shopped recently is Black Hole Birdie. Quite the affable man, as it so happens. And the stories are wrong. And a good thing, too, because I just can't seem to stop myself from getting into them. Our products are just that good.
Maybe I could hold up my end if you're... And if sabotaging the orchards weren't enough, you had to make it personal. You really had to bust my Insta coffee maker, too? The nerve.
Hold that asinine thought. Who is this armed stranger who just wandered into your office? Back up for a fight you can't finish?
What the hell are you talking about? I don't know this lass. I think it's mightily more likely that she's under your payroll. You'd have burned down what you haven't already.
I see. Just a visitor, then. Congratulations, Hathaway. Not everyone's abandoned your orchards.
Well, shame that you're trying to change that. Anyway, sorry for the heated reception, stranger. There's just been some trouble here of late. Name's Overseeing Orchardist Hathaway, and I'm in charge of these orchards. Though it seems like certain groups, which will remain unnamed, are trying to change that. Looks like I'm stuck playing the part of customer service rep. Guess it's different from the usual, at least. Something I can do for you? Yeah, just another woe to add to the pile. In the past, the orchard subcontracted security work from Slug. You know, keep the malcontents on staff from causing too much trouble. But between the Spectrum Brown unveiling demanding all of our resources and the recent uptick in worker accidents, we just ain't got the budget for security. And, of course, Slug has decided that instead of being reasonable, they're just gonna sabotage our operations until we start paying them again.
Look at the poor Rizzo's manager, lying about Sublight to make himself feel better. Shame he skipped where Rizzo's was short on our payments months before the new unveiling.
Look, at the end of the day, it's obvious that Slug is sabotaging us. I ain't paying until they come clean. Oh, you know, nothing particularly troublesome. Just rogue exterminator mechanicals, opening fire on anything that twitches within 300 yards of them. We've also got a large group of new saplings. all dead from some kind of toxic substance. Poison, I guess. And who could forget the tower processing console, which probably just shorted out and stopped working on its own, even though it's outfitted with 3 separate backup systems?
There are a suite of explanations for what could have happened, most pointing to Rizzo's worker incompetence. My people didn't sabotage anything.
It's the strangest thing. Like everyone forgot their 10-minute workplace safety seminars. That's twice as long as the next leading brand. Our people should be safety experts. But I've seen folks step on open electrical wires, drop pallets on each other. One damn fool even blundered into a mosquito hive. Even as he died, he looked fairly pleased. Thank the law, some good news. You hear that, lapdog? Truth's coming. Better fess up while you still can outside of an interrogation room.
While I'm sure you'd love to have a scapegoat on whom you can pin your own incompetence, I suspect you'll be disappointed. But what do I know? I suppose it's up to your new hiree. I'm sorry you had to come in on such a brusque conversation. Not everyone appreciates the work Slug does on Eridanos.
Especially not folk that Slug is trying to extort.
All right, it seems I need to say it yet again. We're not stomping upon your purple berries or knocking your workers off the planetoid. All we want is for you to pay your dues.
And I want you to stop setting our exterminator mechanicals loose and breaking our machinery.
This is how the conversation has gone for the last hour and a half. As you can see, it hasn't been terribly productive. Well, he's being difficult, as you've no doubt seen. All I'm here to do is enforce an agreed-upon business relationship. But our friend here is disinclined to settle.
Don't tell me to settle. Why don't you settle?
Yes, I'll be sure to do that. I know what you must be thinking, but no, I'm not here to atomize his kneecaps. I just want Slug to get what we're owed. If I hear that question one more time, I swear. Look, we just want to get paid. Hampering our clients' productivity is not a good way to get paid. In fact, it's bad business. Do I? Didn't realize that expecting my company to be paid for its work was extortion. You should try telling that to the board. Regardless, Slug's protection service has ensured that Rizzo's has had 0 problems with its shipments at the docks, and all for a reasonable price. We haven't been hostile when their payments came up short either. In fact, Rizzo's is more of a danger to the orchards than us, considering all the workplace injuries. Much as we love giving the bureaucrats 29% of our profits, technically not. Official contracts have some rather obscene fees and documentation. Instead, our company's opted for a non-official manager's agreement. I'm just here to make certain our friend over there pays on time. You're weird. Generous, but weird. The sentiment is nice, but Rizzo's doesn't just pay money. They're also literally our meal tickets. Unless you also happen to own an orchard, I don't think you can clear this guy. Yes, I think we've spoken enough about that imbecile. What can Slug do for you? Nope. Sorry, but this is the first I've visited this area in over a month. Shame about Helen. Liked her movies.
Oh, me too. We didn't get many episodes of Terror on Monarch back in the Vale, but I thought she was great in Dissidents from the Doomed Planet.
Celebs as big as Helen always seem to elicit strong binary opinions in people. But that's neither here nor there. You're welcome to. I don't have any secrets. Certainly. When I'm not out on a job, they usually stick me in the Slug mess hall. I may be a service collector, but that doesn't mean I can't make a damn fine tripicale pie. You're welcome to. I don't have any secrets. Nothing that you couldn't observe yourself. I try not to spend much time here. Hate the outdoors. If you haven't already noticed, these orchards are more of a wreck than even some of the cities on Monarch. Mismanagement, I suspect.
You're back, I see. Glad Slug hasn't managed to scare you off.
I think it's more of a wonder that nothing in these law-forsaken orchards has managed to kill them.
How's the investigation going? You got a complete report for me yet? Yeah, should have figured as much. There's something else you need to know? Got a lot of dead saplings that'll cost us a lot of bits. I've got a feeling someone poisoned them somehow. The mechanicals were hacked. They're pretty much running amok. If you could keep from destroying too many, I'd be obliged. Would save us a lot. That said, you might want to be careful. Those things are built to take on waspkitos, and waspkitos are generally tougher to kill than people. Just something to keep in mind. The tower processing console is completely fried. Whoever took it out must have used some kind of explosive.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. These footprints match the shoes previously analyzed in the Grand Ballroom. There is a 110% chance with a 10% margin of error that they were left by Ruth Bellamy, the actress known as Halcyon Helen.
Wow. You sound just like Agent Khan when he's on the case.
Well, sweet hello there, valued visitor. I am sure sorry to break it to you, but our orchards are closed to all officially guided tours at this precise moment in time.
Oh, my dear Law. Sir, I don't mean to be rude, but do you know what's going on with your face?
Why, thank you! Rizzo's encourages all workers to put on a happy face when engaging with valued customers. Rizzo's does beseech you to please purchase one of our self-guided options if you're wishing to join one of our rejuvenative, relaxing, reformatory tours. Now with a Puzzle Hedges trademark maze hunt and special edition taste testing for an extra 35 bits a ticket. What kind of investigation? You wouldn't happen to be from the health inspection office, would you? For sure there is. The Health and Safety Bureau is board-run and certified. So in Eridanos, all inspectors effectively work for Rizzo's. Well, and other representative member corporations of the board. It turns out, the other board corps get a hearty chuckle out of harassing Rizzo's with regular safety checks. It's really not fair if you think about it. Just because we own less shares on the board than the others doesn't mean we should have to deal with health and safety inspections when the others don't. Oh, goody. It seems I was unduly worried that something must have fallen through regarding our monthly bribe to Slug. Grisly stuff, that. I heard the poor gal got her brain pan bashed in. Not that she probably had much rattling around there to start with, if you know what I mean. Someone hit her in the head, real hard. Then she died. Can't imagine who might have had the hitting power to crack a skull. Well, aside from one of our tossball hackers, I guess. But no Rizzo's employee would commit such an atrocity. We're far too content with life for that. Won't find an unhappy Rizzo's employee in all of Eridanos. No diddly-dee-dum, you won't. Ha ha ha! Well, you are in luck. She passed right by here the other day. I thought she'd hired a private tour at first, but it was Dr. Blossom who was showing her the way to the RR and DD labs. Can't imagine why she'd need to meet with our head researcher on the Spectrum product line outside of her lab hours. Unless, of course, it had to do with the new product unveiling. That's right, she was. She sure made for some lovely adverts. Maybe it might have involved an issue with the launch batch then? I can't rightly say. All I know is one of our certified tour guides could have given her a much more comprehensive tour of the grounds were that her interest. Can't say that I have. We use bad batches of liquor for our pesticides. Only the exterminator mechanicals are armed around here. And I haven't seen any bloody objects aside from the usual pair of gardening shears. Unless, that is, Miss Helen was also stung to death by pollinization mosquitoes? She wasn't, was she? That would be a mighty wretched way to go. Pollinization by killer mosquitoes, indeedy. It's cutting-edge Rizzo's technology. But don't you worry, valued visitor. Our pollinization cycles only run when the orchards are empty, for safety reasons. When a pollinization cycle finishes or is aborted, all mosquitoes are biologically programmed to return to the hive, their holding pen. Of course, the very last thing Rizzos would want is a beloved tourist bumbling into the hive and triggering an unscheduled cycle, so you'd best steer clear of it for safety. You'll know the hive by its big, glimmering electric fencing. Well now, you certainly are an individual of refined taste. There are folks who defend the premium option and its sprat petting zoo, but once you've been bit by one sprat, you've been bit by them all. Of course, tours of any access level must be suspended during a scheduled pollinization cycle. Our mosquitoes are quite territorial and have been known to sting both workers and visitors alike. Yes, indeedy. I've got the wondrous honor of having just been promoted to third keeper of the grounds after the last one disappeared on the job. Gosh, I guess about a week ago now? Before my morning clock-in last Sunday, I was but a lowly nanner peeler picker on the line shift. Now I'm responsible for growing every twig and berry on this vast swath of fertile land. Heaven sweet, no. It's not like he was murdered. He simply disappeared without a trace and hasn't been heard from since. And the groundkeeper before that one? Well, she wasn't missing at all. Her body was found near hive control, covered head to toe in thousands of welts. No mystery, and certainly no murder with what happened there. I mean, you can't exactly hold some mosquitoes on trial. Accidents do happen on the job. Can't speak for others, but I most assuredly don't. I reckon you could talk to my supervisor, the overseeing orchardist. He would know more. I used to ask questions, but gee, I just don't feel the urge to anymore. Gosh and goody gumdrops, but I could talk about the orchards till my lips fell off. Instead, let's talk about whatever interests you, because that's what interests me, too. Why, you say that as if it's a bad thing. I am quite overcome with happiness, indeed. You won't find a Rizzo's worker in all of Eridanos who isn't 100% thrilled in their day-to-day existence. It's part of our brand manifesto. I am so glad you agree. At Rizzo's, we encourage our employees to view customers in the same way they would a board-approved social acquaintance. Which means it is my pleasure to spend time with you even when I am not being paid to do so. Isn't that nice? I certainly think so. And you know what never fails to bring a smile to my face? The breathtaking tours we offer throughout the orchards. Seasonally available for purchase in the Nut Hut. An excellent decision you most certainly won't have cause to regret. Now, presently, you're standing smack dab in the pride and joy of Rizzo's nearly natural product development sector. We call this fecund landscape the Purpleberry Orchards, since that's our main crop. But we also sow and grow mock apples, nanners, pea-free nuts, tarmac, and more. Of course. I can't stop you from poking around, but do be mindful of our pollinization hive. Mosquitoes tend towards aggressive at the best of times. There's a reason why we keep him behind an electric fence, you know.